I guess there are kind of two parts to Montmartre, really. There's the Montmartre which people think of today, and I think rightly, which is on the hill, the Butte Montmartre around Sacré-Cœur. And there you would have encountered a mixture of bohemians, kind of artists, really struggling artists. You know, the Bateau Lavoir, which is where Picasso and his friends lived, teetering at the top of the hill above the boulevards. Really desperately poor. There. You would have also rubbed shoulders with anarchists. Montmartre was a big refuge for anarchists, people involved in radical politics because the rents were cheap there. The kind of process of Haussmannization, that construction of boulevards, those luxurious apartment blocks, really passed this area by, partly because of the topography. Right? It's hilly, the streets are winding, its streets are very, very steep, and often are staircases, not boulevards. So it doesn't lend itself to Haussmannization very easily. So it becomes a pocket of old Paris. You also had a lot of very, very desperately poor people. There was an area in the center of Montmartre which was called the Maquis de Montmartre. So if you like, the scrubland, the wildlands of the wilderness of Montmartre, which was basically a shanty town, but people had their own little plots of land. They grazed animals and they lived in their shacks and shanty houses there. And it slowly got swallowed up, disappearing in the interwar period. So that first part of Montmartre on the hill, you'd have rubbed shoulders with political radicals, anarchists in particular, artists, and the city's poor, much of the city's poor population. But down below, lower Montmartre, if you like, along the boulevards, you had the people that most Parisians kind of went to, gravitated to, which was the Montmartre of the cabarets and the cafes. You know, places like the Chat Noir, the Mirliton, and so on, with singers. People like Toulouse-Lautrec did a lot of the artwork for these places. Eric Satie, the great pianist and composer, performed in these places. So that was where Parisians would often go to slum it, if you like, and enjoy the life slightly on the edge. You know, and slumming it actually was a term I think the Victorians invented in this period in London, when they did much the same thing, going to have a look at the poor districts and so on. But in Paris, it primarily meant going to these places, these cafes, being entertained by artists from Bohemia.